Everything that we've looked at so far, all of the processes, tools, and skills of the team are not sufficient by themselves to create the impact that we desire. Culture is defined as a set of shared beliefs, values, and practices. It is only when we combine these with the well-researched techniques and tools described earlier that the magic starts to work. We look at 4 values in this video: courage, craftsmanship, empathy, and reflection. Let's start with courage. While all of us have a notion of what courage means, what does it mean to be courageous on a software team? Well, it boils down to 3 things: transparency, experimentation, and a desire to deliberately discover the unknowns out there, even if it means failing early. Transparency is best described with a real life example. Let's assume that there's a demo scheduled for tomorrow with you, the customer. The plan is to walk you through a new feature that the team expects to get done by this evening. As the team is putting in the finishing touches to the feature, they discover that a core aspect of the feature has not been implemented and has fallen through the cracks. At this time, there's 2 things we could do: send you an email to reschedule the demo call, or still do the call and explain what went wrong and what we'd be doing to avoid this from happening in the future. Choosing the latter approach and coming clean on the call with you is probably not the most pleasant experience for the team, but it helps in at least 2 ways. You get to understand the challenges the team faces and perhaps even suggest some improvements to the process being followed. The team, on the other hand, can move on to fixing the problem and releasing the feature without being concerned about how to communicate why the delay was happening in the first place. Hardly a week goes by without the team discovering or stumbling upon potentially better ways of doing things. But unless these ideas are tested, there's no way to know for sure how they will turn out. When these ideas work out, it's great because we've probably made an improvement to the process or discovered a new tool that will make us more efficient. But when it doesn't work out as expected, not only have we not got the additional value we expected, but we've also lost some time doing the experiment in the first place. While we understand the value of being cautious, we don't hold ourselves back from experimentation just because of the fear of failure. We introduced the concept of failing early in the big picture video. This is a desire to accelerate discovery of the truth rather than delaying it, or in other words, to accelerate the pace at which the team learns. The importance of this cannot be overemphasized in a lean startup world. In Walter Isaacson's biography of Steve Jobs, he narrates a story that happened when Jobs was the head of the team designing the Macintosh PC. He drove the team to distraction about the details. He asked them to redo the box about 50 times until it was perfect. Even things inside of the computer that no one would see had to be perfect. He felt that a craftsman, when he made a dresser, would not nail a piece of plywood at the back just because that side of the dresser was turned to the wall and no one would ever notice it. At the end of the Macintosh project, Jobs had everyone on the team sign their names on a piece of paper, which was then impressed into the inside of the cabinet of each computer. Jobs then toasted them with champagne and said, "Real artists sign their work." At Multunus, we take pride in our work too, and this includes all aspects of our work, not just what's visible to the outside world. No bugs is a principle to never ship software which has 1 or more known bugs in it. We don't maintain a list of bugs in the system, nor do we do what is called defect tracking. While this doesn't mean that bugs have never been discovered in production, we're able to maintain a frequency of about 1 bug being reported every couple of months, and we're working on making that even less frequent. We've covered the concept of clean code and why it's important to pay off technical debt in the sustainable engineering video. But beyond the business reasons for keeping the code clean, we do it for the spirit of craftsmanship. This is one way we sign our work. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. An empathetic team member is much more pleasant and productive to work with than someone who is not. So the obvious benefit here is a team that gels much better together. Of course, we do have occasional differences of opinion, but we've been very successful in maintaining a culture of mutual respect and trust. But other than the obvious benefit just mentioned, there are other significant advantages as well. Creating memorable user experiences requires the team to experience the product from the end user's perspective. This mandates slipping into the shoes of the user every so often. While the concept of personas makes this easier, we believe that only an empathetic team can do a very good job of building great user experiences. As a customer, you have chosen to work with us above and beyond all of the other potential partners you could have worked with. If we were in your shoes, we would expect to be delighted, not just satisfied. And that is exactly what we strive to do. Empathizing what it feels like to be a customer helps us deliver much more value than we would otherwise. Reflection is the practice of stepping back and analyzing what we're doing, how we're doing it, and finally, why we're doing it in the first place. Practicing this often enough leads to mindfulness, a state of high awareness that is essential for adapting and reacting to changing scenarios quickly. We practice reflection using two methods, retrospectives and root cause analysis. We do both ad hoc and scheduled retrospectives. The scheduled retrospectives happen every 2 weeks or so, and the entire team attends these meetings. What makes these meetings unique is that they are mostly silent. Everyone on the team gets together for an hour and then uses sticky notes to share what they found enjoyable, frustrating, or puzzling in the project. They also share what changes they think need to be made to make the project more successful. After this silent exercise, the team groups together related ideas and then each team member votes on their favorite group. The group with the highest number of votes is selected for further discussion. At this point, a 5 eyes approach is applied to the selected group to get to the root cause of the problem. We use Toyota's cause-effect analysis method to do our 5 eyes. This involves first asking a bunch of what-if questions to help the team realize what the business-level repercussions of a seemingly harmless symptom could be. And once these are identified, the team starts the process of identifying the root cause for the symptom. Once the root cause is identified, it is always an eye-opening experience to be able to map it to the business-level repercussions. Ad hoc retros are done in a much more unstructured way. Usually, these are quick discussions to reflect on how things are going and whether we need to make any modifications to the process, tools, or anything else to make improvements. It's probably obvious by now that we constantly invest in building a great culture here at Multunus. And doing this has helped us build a team that makes our workplace more friendly, more transparent, more fun, more disciplined, more mindful, more bold, and more customer focused. Thanks for watching. This is the final video in our 5-year series. We hope you found these videos useful. Please do write to us at info@multunus.com to learn even more about how we work.